The darkness drops again. But now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches towards Bethlehem to be born. Mankind vaporized, gone, extinctualized by his own hand. People over here, people over there, and people over there, all over the world, are increasing their arsenals of weapons. We are intent on polluting and poisoning the earth, the air, and the water. This is madness. And something in your soul cried out for a mass that would deal with that. And I took the fancy sailor and the midnight robber and put them together as a spectre of the future, as a post-nuclear event that returns in time and parades along the street so that we might see what we are going to become. The irony of me is I went to England to learn how to do real art, having left the fancy sailor there in Port of Spain, not knowing that the fancy sailor was the realest art I'd ever seen. Real! More real than Picasso, more real than Rembrandt, in that it was so unconsidered. The least considered art is the most real art. It is the most truthful. In theatrical, conventional forms like dance, opera, and plays, the apparel is secondary. However, on the island of Trinidad, when you play the mass, what you wear is primary. What you wear is the work of art. Listen to the verb. You play the mass. What's wonderful about the mass is it can take the single iconic painting of Munch that we all know, the Scream. And being a painting, it is silent. And we multiply it 30 or 40 times. And there are these 40. They're almost howling with no voice. I say this to the world. Do not ever stifle your artist. The artist is your last reinsurance of someone seeking a truth. And invariably seeking it not for any self-promotion, seeking it for the benefit of his people. More so in the mass than in any other form of expression that I know. And I remembered Yeats' poem, The Second Coming. Spiritus Mundi was the foreboding of an artist on behalf of humankind, of his fears, of what angers are now reaching a boiling point. I don't design costumes. I try to find ways and means through human apparel of expressing human energy, both spiritual and physical. The thing that made me love the Mass when I first set foot in it was first of all, it spoke with great symbols. It did not use language. It used symbol and influence and the mountains and the savannah and the rain and the shine and the mood of the day. There are things that I have witnessed in the savannah, the likes of which I have never witnessed in an opera house, or it's a different connection, but by God, it's as valid as any other. But don't you understand that Carnival is a whole religious process? Well, they don't actually, but it is, you know. It is an affirmation of life. So it's basically about fecundity, it's about praying to God, it's about being one with God. Is only from here could come a ballet that was made over 100 years ago by one of the most famous ballerinas, Miss Pavlova, with music by one of the famous musicians of the time, César. For one of the most famous ballet companies, say she performed it over 4,000 times. Years later, it makes its way to a little Caribbean island, and the ballet gets put on the foot of a Moko Jambi. The Swan was blessed with something that artists of 100 years ago had given it. The Swan had a music. Sweet, things don't happen. You see chaos up there? Come, child, come. You have some work to do. You see this ballet from a long time. So the music is exactly the length they will allow you to play your mass as a king on the stage of the Swan. You can imagine that. The Swan crosses so many barriers. It crosses male-female barriers. It crosses black-white barriers. Victor is the only male dancer of his time to have gone on point. A black man in steps on point and called it Rasnajinsky in drag as Pavlova. I cannot believe it. I tell you, the gods are in charge. And the audience got it. They got it. The audience got it. This one is the king of Carnival. Piscadese, dogs, creatures of heaven. That would be nice.